Welcome back to Tech Talk from AML, amlcares.com. And I'm here with Adam Oldfield from FPM3, who's my techie expert. And I'm a little bit excited today, Adam. You know why I'm excited?
Why are you excited?
Blackberry. We're going to be talking Blackberry.
Yes.
And you know what I'm like with Blackberry.
I know.
And, you know, I love my playbook, but you got something in your hand that's hot off the press.
Hey now, look at this. You know, Blackberry came out with this in the late summer, and it is the LTE version. So now you can put the micro SIM chip directly in it. And we've got 4G, baby. This no longer has the need to tether. So it can still tether to your Blackberry, but this pretty much allows you to go mobile.
But you wouldn't want that.
Why would you want to? But the fact is you can be able to now run exclusively on a SIM chip. So you're no longer restricted. What still makes the Blackberry
Now, this
playbook
is a real competitor now to the iPad world and all of that stuff.
to the tablet game, it does bring it up.
It's better than the iPad.
Absolutely. It's got flash still. Best story I have, I sat in a lunch and I'm having a discussion with a bunch of guys and clients. And as we pull in, I pull up my playbook at the lunch meeting because we're going to talk web. And I remember three guys were sitting there and they're like, oh, the playbook. I said, well, gentlemen, it's the new LTE. Whatever. As we say, let's take a look at that website. First guy pulls out his iPhone. He goes, it's not showing up properly. The next guy says, here, let me get mine, because he had the 4S, and he's like, it's not running properly. And all three iPhones. Now, I don't know what generations, but I can tell you that we had the best to the first. And I can tell you, I said, gentlemen, why don't we try my Blackberry playbook here? And as I go through it, it's like, is this what you wanted to take a look at? Because it's running awfully amazing, and I think we're going to save everyone a lot of aggravation and pain here if we just. So anyway, it made everyone eat crow in the. So what I love about this is that it's got 4G LTE where available, which is in the Kitchener-Waterloo. I've seen it in Toronto, yet to see it in Hamilton, and I did actually get it in North Bay for a short bit. So I don't know where that tower is, but somewhere in the downtown core was a Rogers tower. They must be doing some upgrades. So anyway, it's running the LTE. That's the fastest bandwidth on really the wireless network at the moment, right? And available, of course, from our friends over here at amlcares.com. So make sure you check it out. And you know what? You definitely want to try it. It's really cool. What still makes it, in my opinion, until they launch out the OS X again, is you've got your email, you've got browser. It is a tool, and BlackBerry has claimed that's what they're going to be focusing on. They are not in it for the game world. They are not in it to play Scrabble with friends. They are in it for the business network, and that's where they're dedicated and their focus is. And that's been very much clear. Well, they've launched as well. The new London is leaked out.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Very exciting. Fully touchscreen. It's going to be coming out with a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigabytes of storage memory, and an 8 megabyte pixel camera. So again, what's very neat about this is that it's not shy on the business tools again. It's going to be very, very much robust under the new BlackBerry 10 operating system. So very excited about that coming out very soon. And they say that they're going to make the announcement in September. Late September, they're going to make the official announcement on the L series, codename London. We should have the James Bond theme just kicking right about. Oh, right there, Moneypenny. So anyway, all right, but you know what? You can't talk about the BlackBerry without talking about some of the other things going out. Let's talk about the Galaxy Note, the tablet. And we had one showcased, again, available at amlcares.com. Yes. But the Galaxy Note, the new version is coming out with a flexible screen. And what's key on this is that, these touch screens, they're very sensitive. You drop it, you know what? You put it in your pocket, you put your keys in it, you get a crack. Well, the Galaxy 10 is coming out with now a flexible screen. We're not talking about a full bendable here, but it does give a little bit of give. So you're not going to have as much of a chance of it being able to crack.
They need that, unlike that, which is fairly rigid piece of equipment. The Galaxy is a little bit thinner, and it is a little flexible anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to have, and also the Galaxy Note's going to be having also that traditional phone feel to it. But the key really selling feature on that one is, again, it's going to have that little bit of a chance to kind of bend and have a little play in it. So, you know what, we can't talk about, of course, Google without mentioning the Samsung. And we showcased one of the Samsung products. And right now, this doesn't hinder, I want to make a segue or a pre-note to this. I want to make a note that this doesn't impact the current model models on the floor, and we're referring to the Samsung versus Apple issue. So there was a case that actually Samsung lost the patent deal, and just to
So
give
it
you
doesn't affect the Samsung 3?
not the current model, but the new ones that are going to be coming out, or any future models, it will have an impact. Or Samsung needs to ante up some money and start paying for the rights of those patents. It's not really defined yet, but Apple's gone back to the courtroom and filed a few more patent issues. So it's going to be very interesting. But just as an example, some people go, well, what patents are we referring to? Well, one of the patents is the pinch zoom. Such a simple thing we look at and go, oh, I just want to zoom in on that. And you know what? I don't know if Blackberry has it, but I know it works on the
Yeah.
I'm pitching zoom. That's a patent that Apple has. So pinch zoom is one, and there's also the tilt rotation, how it's done. It's going to be very interesting to see where the future goes when it comes to Samsung and the Apple deal.
So are you saying that anyone who's got one needn't worry about what they've got?
Correct.
They need to maybe have a look at what's going to happen down the road.
Exactly. It's going to be more, where does Samsung go in the future? And you know what? And there might be, the damages that they're filing against are for what wasn't accounted for. So what's really going to be key is anything coming out by Samsung, how are they going to address some of those patents that they do not have access to? So they either have to work out a deal, pay their bill, or they're going to have to remove it as part of their plan. So what is also neat is that Microsoft has launched, it's not out yet, but the Surface tablet. You've heard a lot of news about it. Comes with a keyboard. Microsoft has some pretty interesting points that they've launched, and the new Nokia phone is coming out in the next couple weeks. It's already getting some legs with the already existing model. So the Windows Phone is claimed, or to be claimed, will be taking a pretty big market share of the United States, they say, in the next year from now.
Wow.
So, and that's pretty amazing, from 0 to coming into number 3rd place. So that's pretty amazing. But the Surface tablet is coming out, and they say it's going to revolutionize the tablet market when it actually comes out. So combined with the phone with Nokia, you've got the tablet. It's going to be a pretty interesting player. And Microsoft is not sitting behind the scenes at all. They're getting very aggressive when it comes to the market online. They are very aggressive out with purchasing the social media Yammer. They're really pinning on the business side of things. So they see Yammer, which is sort of like a business social media network. They purchase that. They also purchase Skype. We talked about that as an earlier Tech Talk show. So they're really trying to get all of these business communication areas and hammer on those. So now they got the tablet, and they're launching the Microsoft stores. And this is very interesting because they're really stepping back out of the licensing of the software to everyone to make it. Now they're coming in and going, maybe Apple's got something here, and they're launching the new Windows retail stores. You can buy your keyboard, your mouse, your desktop, your tablet, your phone, all of it by Windows, coming soon to a mall near you. So you might be able to walk across between the Apple and the Windows stores.
Oh, you got to love these technology wars.
Absolutely. So it's very interesting. Now, we've talked about security as well out there in the world with regards to Amazon and Apple. And it's very important, and I highly, highly recommend all of the people watching and anyone that's a chamber member or anyone in business, change your password. Do not get compliant with your Apple login password or your Amazon password. Make sure you make a habit of changing it. Use uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and characters. Please, 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 because right now, all that information is easily being scoped and checked, and it's capable of being able to be found and being able to be shared. Hackers got into the Apple database, and they were able to share it across the network. Unbelievable how this information can be easily. So regular habit, put it on the 30th of the month, get in there, change your password. You can put it on remember, but get into the habit of doing it every 30 days, and do not use the same password for all the key points. So,
well, what about when we talk about the Blackberry stuff with their advanced security? Is that...
Well, their advanced security is great for their email database as far as like BBMs, and we're talking about some of the points with their emails. But where I'm referring to, you still need a browser to log into your example, your bank account, or if your Amazon account. All those are coming through a separate source. So what happens is a lot of people go, well, here's my password. I'm just going to make everything that password. Okay, well, if it's not dynamic enough, like Buster01, if that's your password and you make everything Buster01, well, you're going to get hacked. Let's just call it what it is. Like your emails, your Twitter, your social media, and it gets annoying. It is, but it's critical. People
It's
really
annoying. Oh man, you can have 100 different passwords and pins.
Absolutely
and,
critical that people make a habit of changing those passwords, and the main reason alone is just because it is susceptible. The cloud is capable of being hacked. So your computer no longer is at risk. It's only one server that could be hacked, and all that information is easily accessible.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but when I try and make my passwords kind of friendly to my brain and how I think, if you ever gone to a techie and asked them to set up a password for you, my goodness, you'll never know what it means.
Well, and so following that, Apple was the one that got that leaked, and they've changed their new parameters right now. And if you've logged into your Apple account, they've actually tell you, would you like to change your password? So they've actually learned from their mistake. And where this all came out was there was an actual journalist in New York, and his Twitter account got hacked, which thereby got access to his iCloud, which then they were going in and posting. It was not a nasty information that they were getting in, but they were making their point that they were able to access their Apple account and actually get into their cloud and start to post, then got into their Twitter account, so on and so forth. So now, speaking of the big news, a lot of people holding off right now until the iPhone 5 is announced. So they said this fall it's coming out, and what can we expect to see, or what can we expect to come out of this new iPhone 5? Well, number one is it's going to be two-tone. We're talking white, silver, gray, black. It will be in those. These are leaked rumors right now. The phone also appears to be in the same shape as the iPhone 4S. So we're not going to see anything really revolutionary with regards to the style of the design. What they do say, though, is that it is going to come with a new pin, because a new pin connector, which means all the pin connectors you've used in the past are no longer going to be.
You gotta like that.
And the rumors are fairly true about it. So they do say it comes with a little faster processor. It's going to come with a bigger screen, and that's pretty much the most that's been leaked out, is the color, the layout, the style, and there's going to be a new connector for it. So the real announcement will be at the end of September.
I would assume a Siri upgrade.
Of course, the Siri's got to be upgraded. But you know what? Again, voice recognition, even on the Galaxy S, the Siri, all of them, they still demand the internet to be able to take the audio recording, send it up, and send it back. What's the difference in the two is that, in Jelly Bean, the new one that's coming out by Google, it's actually building in some of the vocabularies into the Google operating system. So that's interesting to see where it goes. And rumor fact that was on the market, talking Blackberry Google for a moment, it was I didn't hear this until recently, that it was announced that Google Android system was seriously contemplated for the new Blackberry unit. And it was decided, nope, we're not going to go that path. That's not our mission, not our plan. So good job for Thurston by sticking by his guns, and they're going to launch this. Obviously, it's a little later than everyone else in the field as far as when they're coming out, but they're already kind of building up some momentum based on what they have on the market.
You think it's going to be really big?
I think it's going to be big coming out, and I think with what I've seen, if they kind of hit the mark with what I've got, their biggest challenge is going to be the apps. And you know what? It's going to be a little more robust for the developer to be able to make the apps for the program, how it gets distributed and how the market accepts it, and how integrated have we been with the current phones we have. So iPhone users, Android users, are they dedicated to be able to flip? And has it been too long for them to be able to determine to come back?
Because, BlackBerry's market share is really, the weak point is North America, not everywhere else in the world. So there are app developers all around the world that are just itching to get at this new BlackBerry 10 operating
system. We tend to forget that they're number one in Africa, South Africa, as well as all of South America.
I think the UK as well.
In the UK, they do have some Europe markets. I mean, they've got hit. Let's not argue that there's been some challenges at BlackBerry. But they've got a plan, and you know what? You can't knock a business that's got a plan. What they got to do is make sure that it's perfect, and when it comes out, my only point is looking at the new London and seeing, even with the unit that we see here, how are they going to handle the battery issue that has not been addressed? It's got a lot of horsepower standing behind it. It's got a lot of RAM.
It's going to need a lot of battery.
A lot of battery, and BlackBerry's been usually very good with its battery.
I think you and I talked about the only problem that you had when you used the Samsung Galaxy S3 was a battery.
Yeah, well, that's it. I think, S stands for sucks battery. Yeah. So, I think that's what it needs to be standing for, because...
But I think it's got that powerful processor as well, and the RAM as well.
Well, it's got more, again, all it is about LED. If it's using more pixels to basically brighten it, the more you use it, plus the power. Again, these devices, all of them are using a lot of internet bandwidth. Like, I know my bandwidth has gone up to a gig, where I was using a BlackBerry, and I would barely itch 200 to 300 megs.
That's the beauty of the compression factor
Exactly.
in Blackberry.
It really does. And I think if Blackberry can hold that steady, that's key. A lot of the information being shared is compression. And even now in today's technology, a lot of companies are struggling with how do I send a 50 meg file or even like a 100 meg file, which isn't unordinary these days based on, let me just film us. Okay, great. You know these tech talks. They're not small by any stretch in the video. Email that to someone. That's going to be the next challenge moving forward. So voice recognition, compression, and I think BlackBerry still has a lot of great products.
Well, I think they've got the edge. They've got the edge on security. Obviously, they've got the edge on compression as well from a data usage perspective.
That's right.
And as that starts to go up, even though some of the companies are getting more liberal with it, allowing more, there's still a cost structure behind the data usage. So you want a device that's going to use as little as possible, but maximize your reach.
Exactly. So anyway, we'll see what happens in the next month. It's going to be very exciting when they launch the iPhone. Talk about Microsoft.
I pumped up about the L. I want the L.
And we'll find out more in about probably a couple weeks.
Research in motion. I need London. I need a London really quick. So does my friend here, Adam.
That's right. We
absolutely
can't wait to talk about it.
We're willing to bring it here and highlight it, and the volume of viewers that we get.
That's right.
Thanks to AML, AMLcares.com for bringing you Tech Talk as often as we can possibly get together, Adam and I, and Adam Oldfield from FPM3, FPM3.com. It's a great organization. If you need any help from Adam, he's just a click away.
Thanks,
Adam.
Greg. Alrighty.